2019 was a big fucking shit show from start to finish. Notre Dame burned down, the rainforest burned down, the Eiffel Tower hasn't burned down, but that's just because I haven't got enough gasoline yet, be patient. And I don't know about you guys, but when it comes to video games, I personally think 2019 has been pretty fucking underwhelming, especially compared to 2018. I mean, 2018 gave us Red Dead 2, God of War, Smash Bros, Spider-Man, Celeste, Pillars of Eternity 2, Monster Hunter World, Into the Breach, Return to the Obra Dinn, and this year we had... Crackdown 3, Anthem, Crackdown 3. In fact, the large amount of underwhelming and disappointing games is actually one of the reasons I disappeared from YouTube in 2019, as well as my happiness pulling an Uno reverse card on me, of course. But my cynicism and sorrow aside, we did still have a few bangers, and what kind of YouTube boy would I be if I didn't put them all in a list for no proper reason? As usual, all of this is just my opinion, it's totally fine if you disagree with me, blah blah, safety net blah. No remakes or remasters, so no CTR, Link's Awakening, COD Modern Warfare. Get it, cause it's the same name as the other one. And as always, don't forget to buckle your seatbelt, keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times, and suck my fucking toes, cause here we go! Remember when Castlevania was all like... And then Castlevania was all like... And then Castlevania was all like... But then Bloodstained Ritual of the Night came along and it was all like... I remember that. Yeah, even though it didn't completely recapture the magic of Symphony of the Night, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is still a damn fun Metroidvania game. It may be a bit buggy and have a story that's as interesting as wet socks, but the actual gameplay is top-notch. There's a million different ghouls to kill, most of which give you brand new abilities that you can use to kill more ghouls, that give you more abilities to kill more ghouls, abilities. I very much enjoy saying the word ghouls. And it's just overall a solid Metroidvania and one of the very few nostalgia-based Kickstarter games that didn't disappoint its core audience, and sadly, that's actually worth celebrating these days. You hear that, mighty number 9, du verdammtes absolutes Bastardgesicht? Luigi's Mansion 3 doesn't take place in a mansion, doesn't feature the number 3, and I'm pretty sure that's not even Luigi, so bad game, get cancelled, better luck next time, sweetie, honey, darling, tea, sis, repulsive attitude. But seriously, I just love the amount of polish and charm that was put into this game. Just all the small, interesting moments that momentarily brought me out of my dismal, sarcastic haze and made me go, oh, that's pretty neat. The fun ghosts, the interesting new mechanics, the beautifully animated and adorable cutscenes. Seriously, I don't know why I find a hairy Italian in his mid-20s so fucking cute, but I really do. It's all everything that a Luigi's Mansion game should be. Lovable, quirky, entertaining, and just the right amount of dog. Luigi's Mansion 3 is great, and I've said it once and I'll say it again, Professor Egad for Smash, okay? Like, he could have a vacuum-y side B, maybe throw wrenches as a projectile, and his final Smash could just be him putting on a Virtual Boy and projectile vomiting over everybody. It'd be really cool. So number 8 is, you know what? You probably don't care about number 8, do you? You just want to skip to the next one, I bet, right? So, yeah, we'll just move on to number 7. Just leave this one, I think. It was Pokemon, by the way. Anyway, moving on. Come on, guys. Please, don't be mad. Please, stop throwing things at me! Okay, yeah, look, I know a lot of people hate it, I know it's got flaws, and I know the shadows won't stop having seizures, but I can't help it, guys. I really liked Pokemon Sword and Shield. I liked the new Pokemon introduced, I liked the new wild areas, I fucking loved the camps where all you did was chill with your Pokemon and make curries and get hilarious content for Twitter. And obviously I'm biased as a Brit, but this is the only Pokemon game where the phrase "jog on, mate" will ever be used, okay? Just let me have this. I know it's got a lot of problems and I probably shouldn't enjoy it as much as I do, but hey, this is my personal list and this is a game that I personally enjoyed, so why don't you personally dive into a Combine Harvester? Nothing personal, of course. At number 7, we have a game that kind of slipped under the radar, I think, but one that I feel deserves way more credit than it gets. Children of Mortar, a roguelike RPG where you play as a wholesome family of adventurers set on saving the world from destruction, like the Flintstones if one of them could throw fire. It's just one of those games that succeeds at everything it sets out to do. Fun and varied gameplay, check. Gorgeous pixel art, check. Narrator with a voice that gives me loins in my groins, check a fucking Rooney. But what really made me appreciate this game was its dedication to character building. In between runs, you usually get to see what the family is up to and how they're handling their current situation. Sometimes there'll be a cutscene of the grandma reading a scroll, or the uncle working on something, or the teenage boy not masturbating, which is probably the most unrealistic thing in this game. It just makes the game feel that much more engaging, and it serves as a great reminder as to why you should never have kids. Kitana Zero, you kill people and take drugs and kill people and slow down time and kill people, and the whole game is only like 3 hours, but it's fucking awesome, and you kill people. Next! At number 5, Devil May Cry 5, because that's appropriate and I wanted to put it here anyway, so 'tis what you might call a happy coincidence. Fuck me, I'm so happy. This was my first DMC and the only DMC game I've ever played, and basically I remember that you could kill demons with a motorbike, so honestly that was enough to get the game on this list already. The entire game was like one big bolt of energetic lightning, always taking you from one crazy memorable moment to the other, and the combat was incredibly varied, but never felt overly complicated to me, even when I was juggling a Grim Reaper lookalike in the air for 10 minutes using nothing but my erect knob goblin. Plus, I was able to follow pretty much everything going on in the story despite having never played a DMC game before. So basically, DMC 5 is a very well made game all around. I highly recommend it if you haven't played it yet, and beanbags are just boneless sofas. So there's that too. Baba is you. Okay. Now, in the immortal words of someone or other, it takes a strong man to admit when he's beat. But I say it takes an even stronger man to admit when he's beat by a game about a tiny fucking sheep. Cat. Rabbit, I don't fucking know. And yes, as much as it pains me to admit, Baba Is You is an incredibly unique, interesting, and intriguing little puzzle game that is simply too complex for my baboon brain. I'm not proud of it, but I had to look up the answers for like half of the fucking puzzles, and most of the time they somehow confused me even more. The whole idea of completely changing the rules of the game on a dime was such an alien concept to me, and I guess my brain just doesn't work like that. But with all that being said, I genuinely think Baba Is You is one of the best games of the year. It's inventive, it's creative, it's wonderfully unique, and it makes me feel like the smallest doll in a matryoshka doll. Matryoshka, whatever, it's a good game. Well, you better just call me on a diet, cause I'm about to break a rule I made for myself and cry in the bathtub afterwards. Yeah, I know I said no remakes or remasters, but to me Resident Evil 2 is so wildly different and superior to the PS1 game that they're really only the same in the way that Lego and Playmobil are the same. Yeah, they look the same from the outside, and yeah, they serve the same purpose, but if you buy Playmobil for your children, you don't deserve children. Anyway, this game is basically everything a Resident Evil game should be. Spooky, exciting, just the right type of ridiculous, and with a big old bucket of Leon. Everything about the game just felt right. The combat was satisfying, the animation was incredible, the visuals were absolutely sublime, and the game was fucking bleeding atmosphere, and it made you feel so tense the whole time you were playing it, it felt like you were defusing a bomb with your nipples. Basically, this is Resident Evil at its absolute peak, and I am so excited to see what they do with the third one, and how they inevitably fuck up the online one. Quote me. Fucking quote me on that, I dare you. Well, this year may have been pretty mediocre when it comes to games, but on the plus side, Fire Emblem has a new best game in the series. Oh, I think I just burned my goddamn tongue on that hot take. Okay, maybe that's not fair, but really, Fire Emblem Three Houses is now my favorite Fire Emblem out there. It may not have as good writing as Awakening, and it may not have Fate's incestual romance options. Don't fucking lie, I know you all tried that shit. But to me, the inclusion of the Academy just made the game twice as enjoyable. It gave the game a real XCOM vibe, where it felt like all the stuff you did off the battlefield was just as important as what you did on it. I just loved running around the school, seeing what all the students had to say about the events of the game, and trying to build up my support level with Raphael, because that man is a fucking unit! I also really liked all the little activities you could do, like fishing and cooking and tea time with my gal pals, and of course the multiple routes that made the game 10 times more replayable and inspired many debates about what the best house is. Golden Deer for life, boys! What? Look at them dance! Look at them dance, you son of a bitch! Anyway, time for number 1, the big dog itself, my personal best game of 2019. But first, I know I haven't been too kind to games in 2019 as a whole. Personally, I still think that overall the year was about as satisfying as a botched circumcision, but I don't want to go into the new decade with a sour face. So in the name of optimism, I'm gonna quickly do some honorable mentions to some good games that didn't quite make the list. But I know you all probably want to know what number 1 is, so I'm going to do it really quickly. Okay, go! My friend Pedro barely missed the list. Amazing gameplay, but the level design was Mortal Kombat 11. Great fighting, but the story made the entire canon irrelevant, and I guess I care about that for some reason. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. I'm sure it's great, but being a games journalist, I couldn't get past the tutorial. Jump King. It's like a less annoying version of Getting Over It, and it actually controls really well. No. Slay the Spire! This is actually one of my favorite games of this year, but I didn't realize that it actually officially came out very early in 2019 until after I was done writing the rest of this list, and I'm too lazy to change everything. So yeah, just know that it's great, and it probably would have been like 4th or something. The Legend of Bumbo. It's bejeweled with piss and shit. 10 out of 10. Apex Legends. I really liked it, but no one I know plays it anymore, so yeah. Later Alligator. It's an adorable and hilarious adventure game with alligators made by Small Boo Animation, who I love. Buy it now. It's amazing. Untitled Goose Game. See, you thought I was gonna do a honk there, but actually I just... Fuck! Okay, now that we've got through the way too many honorable mentions, it's time for number 1. I really wasn't expecting this to be my game of the year. In fact, I had absolutely no expectations for it going in, but here we are. So, number 1 on the list, and my personal best game of 2019 is... Days Gone! See, it's funny, because that's clearly not what it is, and I'm just wasting everybody's time by saying that. Disco Elysium. That's right, I am a pretentious prick. Seriously, I went into this game with absolutely no expectations and no idea on what the fuck it was gonna be about. I mean, what does Disco Elysium even mean? What does Elysium even mean? Oh, okay, yeah, no, that fucking sums it up. But Disco Elysium turned out to be one of the most compelling, memorable, and downright bizarre games I've ever played. Now, I won't lie, it's definitely not for everyone. I mean, there's a shit ton of reading, it tackles some pretty strange and complicated themes, and without wishing to spoil, the ending is so underwhelming it might as well have just said you win and dumped you back to the menu. But to put it simply, Disco Elysium is one of the best written games I've ever played. And considering most of what you do is read, that's a very good thing. It's grim, it's surreal, it's incredibly sharp and witty, and just completely fucking ridiculous in the absolute best way. I mean, how many games let you roleplay as a secret fascist who wants to be a rock star, or a psychotic junkie who knocks old ladies out of wheelchairs, or a depressed alcoholic who desperately wants to wear a jacket that says piss f***? It sounds insane just saying it out loud, but Disco Elysium lets you be all those things and so much more. It's truly a game that lets you embrace your inner weirdo, and the whole skills as companions thing is just a stroke of fucking genius. Honestly, I could go on about this game for hours, but really all you need to know is it's bizarre, it's hilarious, and it's the best damn game I played in 2019. Apart from Crackdown 3, obviously. So yeah, that's the list. Again, I wasn't crazy about the games in 2019, but really, we've got so much amazing shit coming this year, I don't even care. I mean, come on. Last of Us 2, Cyberpunk, Animal Crossing, SpongeBob. You're gonna hit us with a SpongeBob game, baby? Come on! 2019 was a pretty terrible year for me, both personally and YouTube-wise, but without wishing to jinx it, I've got a very good feeling about 2020, and I hope you guys will stick around for what's next. Also, thanks for pretending to still care about games from 2019, even though it's like 2024 at this point, I think.